What is going on, everyone? My name is Boyt and I am back with some more Age of Mythology. The Titans action spawning the right side of the map in the red color playing as Rise from the PXX clan. His name is Mage. His opponent today in the blue color playing as Ra. His name is Grandmonster. The map is Oasis. He's currently 1-1 in this best of 5 tournament game from the Bill Gregg Open $1,000 Age of Mythology tournament. Both players taking a game off each other in pretty convincing fashion, to be honest. I feel like Mage pretty convincingly won that last game, and Grandmonster won that first game very, very easily. So we'll see if these guys can pull their mental together and be strong in that mental capacity in order to continue in these games, having walloped each other quite significantly. We're seeing the scouting coming for both players. Something I don't think I see enough from Egyptian players is scouting with these goat. You don't need them for anything at the early stage. Scout up here, run around. You're against Ra, so you have no real cause for concern. We are seeing the scout from Mage over here, but not checking this back area at all. So he doesn't he might not need to send his Pharaoh over there. Small little things like that don't matter a lot, but they can mean the difference between knowing everything on the map and knowing some things on the map, you know. But alas, we'll see what happens here. Oasis is one of those maps which is a very aggressive map, but with a very low hunt. So Ra does strive on this very well if he can get his second gold mine secured. But as is Ra versus Ra, both gods are the same, so they're going to be going for the same sort of thing. They both want to secure that second gold mine very, very easily. So we'll see if it results in both players going into a boomy style by grabbing things like shaft mine or quarry super early, or going for scarab rush, which is definitely possible with this many goat kind of vibes, or going in for or just a standard what we saw in the first game. Chariot Archers, War Elephants, and Siege Tower pushes here. Grandmonster yet again. He always goes for these weird lumber camp placements. I would have thought to place the lumber camp here. No real reason why this place here is any better than this place here. Or maybe the surface area is a little bit more over here. Maybe it's not. But it's it just looks weird to me. It looks weird to me. I guess he is as far away from Mage as possible, but feel like you can come around this side and attack here a little bit easier than, I don't know. Maybe he's right. Maybe this is the best spot. It just looks a bit odd to me. Temple coming up for Grandmonster here, and that's fairly normal time. Mage also getting that temple up. Neither player spotted a relic here, so we have no idea what the relics are on this map. And yes. Oh, Mage, no, gets housed. That's terrible. That's not what you want to see. So Grandmonster's going to sneak a little bit ahead, and we are definitely seeing husbandry here from Grandmonster, and I'm assuming we saw husbandry as well from Mage. So both players going to have to do the same sort of build. Only 2 zebra. It's not really worth getting the hunting dogs and not seeing that pack of giraffe. There is a pack of giraffe over here which he could eat after he gets to this town center. What I've been seeing from very, very top level Ra Wars back in the day was he's got an idle villager here. Oh, he's fixed it. That's nice. Is if you were playing Ra against Ra, you want to attempt to get to the heroic age without casting rain, without building farms. That was the way that the top players were playing, because it was just that much faster. You could get that much more map control, and then go from there. You know, that was the general gist of it all. But on Oasis, it's not really that important. You're not gonna be getting to that next stage. Basically, there's just not enough hunt. I mean, maybe with the giraffe there is, but I don't know. I don't think so. It's more of like a marsh watering hole sort of strategy, I think. 10 villages on gold versus 11 villages on gold. So just slightly different here. I think both players actually clicked at the same time, but Mage got housed, so he's a little bit behind on the villager count maybe. It's like 19 villages to 20 villages. Yeah, Grandmonster advances faster and with more villages. So that's that tells you something. That tells you something about not getting housed. It's very, very important. But we are seeing Mage moving forward to his second town center. He's looking like he's got the resources there, and same with Grandmonster. Both players moving up, but Grandmonster opting for the Priest in power here. Priests in power at what, 30%, whereas the Pharaoh empowers at 75%. So it's actually huge. It's a huge difference, which is why you normally see the Pharaoh getting onto these town centers. And this town center, even though Mage advanced after Grandmonster, he's probably going to get this one up before Grandmonster just because he's got the Pharaoh on it. But I guess maybe Grandmonster could be going for an early third town center. It's potential, but he also wants to get the early, okay, it makes sense. He wants to get the early gold out so we can get these farms down, so we can get the first rain out. There's so many giraffe here. That's a juicy amount of giraffe. I hope that once the rain's over, once the 2 rains are over, Grandmonster realizes this and he moves onto the giraffes away from these farms, because it's really, really important. We do see the farms are down for Mage as well. He's got 7 or so. Whereas Grandmonster's already got his 13 farms down. So he's doing really, really well. It's going to be a gigantic boom. Similar to the last game, it just looks like Grandmonster's build order is just a little bit more clean than Mage. So he's just coming out just that touch ahead on the resources and on the farms coming up. Sacrifices the slightly earlier town center for more gold from his Pharaoh, empowering the gold mine. It's not a lot of gold, but it is more gold. So maybe it's the difference between like 1 extra farm or something, or 2 extra farms, depending on how many villages were on the gold mine. So it's pretty significant when you're in a mirror war to get those extra resources in. But we do see a similar thing here from Mage, 13 farms. But again, there's 5 giraffes sitting over here. 5 giraffes sitting over here. Pick up some these goats as well. So in this back, we do see another rain coming down and Horus coming through. Enemy laborers is extra 50%. Versus, what is that, 95% farming rate. Yeah, I'm not sure, to be honest. These gather really, really fast. I wonder if this enemy rain would be it would be better to be just gathering the giraffe than on the farm. I'm not 100% sure about that one there. But it looks like we are seeing a heroic gauge incoming through Hathor. He's super fast. He's so much further ahead of Mage here on the advanced time. And Mage, what's he got? Does he have Shaft Mine? Doesn't have Shaft Mine, doesn't have Hand Axe. Grandmonster's got Hand Axe, got Pickaxe, doesn't have Shaft Mine incoming. We've got Skin of the Rhino, Hand Axe, and Hathor coming through for Mage at this point. Villagers moving forward, probably want to chuck down Migdal Stronghold here and start getting the walls up. Setting up, you've got a gigantic advantage here by advancing so fast. But Grandmonster yet again takes this fast advance time and sort of throws it away. Always better to move forward. There are hyena here though, so maybe he saw those and didn't want to walk through those to throw the Migdal Stronghold up. Useless or sorry, I can't say your name. I'm pretty sure that's how you say it. Is it possible to priest rush now? Yes, it is possible to priest rush still. So the nerf to the Pharaoh attack against villages was a negative 50%. So basically all that happens is the Pharaoh does a little bit less damage and the Wadjet does 50% less damage as well. So all that happens is basically the Pharaoh does less damage for 20 seconds, and then you get Hands of the Pharaoh out of the temple as soon as you advance, and then he does the normal damage. But the big thing is no damage was touched, so he can still like pick off Hersa and stuff like that. We see the rock is coming through, and this should be picked off. Move the Pharaoh forward instantly is what you should do. He's going for it. He should be able to pick it off. There we go. He is dead, and now he's going to swap over onto that Pastustriots. This is huge for Grandmonster. Hopefully he learned his lesson, and it does not go for the the Locust onto this here, and just like he's going for this early push again. He's got the siege towers coming out. He's got the army coming through. There are cavalry coming out for Mage, which is a good option here. The Pharaoh is going to deal a couple of hits of damage over onto that Wadjet there. And he should be able to get out of here. We see the cavalry trying to take this down, but it looks like the Wadget's sitting 21 HP. Does manage to survive. Might want to get that one healed back up by the Pharaoh if you so chose. But still, cavalry and chariot archers are the unit of choice for Mage versus the War Elephant, Siege Tower, chariot archers. We do see Siege Towers coming out for Mage as well. So the big difference between this attack and the attack from last game, or not last game, the first game, is this is a town center. Town centers are a little bit more sturdy than the Migdol Stronghold with the extra 200 HP. I think they have the same crush armor, 5% versus, oh no, 10%, so they even got more crush armor, so they take a little bit less damage. But most of all, you can spam out mercenary. If you check out Mage, he doesn't have that many mercenary here, and we're seeing the siege tower coming. He can cast Locust on this, and he is going to be doing that, and he's not going to be able to pick off anything here, and there's too many cavalry on this one. Again, feel like similar thing happened in the first game with Grandmonster. He sent in one siege tower at a time. He needs to send in 2 or 3 at once, and that way he really does the damage, and you basically go from there. Oh, nice micro there from the Pharaoh to pick off that Wadjet, but the chariot archers do get over onto that Pharaoh very, very nicely. But at this point, looks like Mage has stabilized. He's going to be okay here. To continue in this game. The Pastuche shots does get picked off though. And now we're seeing third town center coming up for Grandmonster. I feel like Grandmonster's attack here is maybe like, not sure. Maybe it's okay. But I think maybe he should be retreating here. Yeah. Ashil says, boy, possible you speak less. I'm sorry. This cannot be helped. This is how I commentate. Chariot archers, war elephants coming through yet again. He's just going for it, but I think at this point we're seeing markets coming up. We should be seeing walls coming up, and we should be transitioning into more of a late game style thing. I don't think you can do that much more damage. Maybe you could send some guys around here just to stop this one here. He's got the rock in here as well. Which is useful. He's going to be able to spot this out, but maybe that's it. We see some spearmen in the fray here. I'm not sure about that. They're really weak units when they're not upgraded at all. Locust Swarm does come down. He's going to be able to pick off every single one of those villages except for that one there. And it does stop that Migdol Stronghold from coming up. And now Mage is making the push in. Taking down quite a bit of this Grandmonster army. I guess the spearmen are here to be picking off these siege towers or something. The chariot archers, you need to micro these onto the enemy chariot archers. He is managing to do that very, very nicely. Pushing forward. And I think he's definitely won this fight. He took a lot of losses to the Locust. Mages, the Locust have been a slight bit better than Mages here. He's got the third town center up. Moving forward into this gold mine. At this point in the game, around this time of the game, you need to start setting up your walls. The top players are putting walls up everywhere just to like basically delay their opponent in. Here we go. This is what Mage is doing right now. They delay your opponent from doing side builds, and you can react to them. And there's no real. You're not ever surprised by like just not having line of sight or something like that. And here we go. The wall coming up over here. Walking. I think this villager misses it. I like this wall here. It's going to shut down this trade route when it starts. And that'll be really, really good there for Grandmonster. Nice upgrades for both players, actually. Is that irrigation as well? Oh, that's really good for Mage. His economy should start really kicking ass very, very soon. Got the third town center up as well. But moving into this fight here, this looks a bit dicey with these war elephants right in front of the chariot archers. The chariot archers, if they start attacking war elephants, it's kind of like they're attacking a siege tower. I mean, it's not. Siege towers have like a 95% pierce armor, and war elephants only have 40%, but it's pretty big. We do see the shifting sands over here. I think it would be worthwhile just leaving these chariots here and trying to poke down these these laborers here. It's been a nice shift for the Grandmonster, actually. Thank you so much for the follow. Miss Mash, number 12. Appreciate that one, my friend. Still moving forward. Siege Tower's doing their thing. But we're keeping up villagers in the fray. What is he doing here? 5 villagers just attacking the siege towers and all of that other good stuff. Thank you for the follow, Joa0524. Appreciate that one, man. Yeah. It's looking like Grandmonster's army's kind of like the meat of it's kind of dying. Needs to maybe think about slowing the chariot output, getting more villagers on food, less villagers on gold. Well, he's actually snuck behind here, so this wall's going to stop this villager from getting out, but he can get this wall over here and be like, okay. Man, thank you so much for the follow, Nick Demand77 Gold Lion. Appreciate that one. You guys are the best. We got the chariot archers throwing their arrows over and doing all of the good things, but there's just not that many units here for Mage. What's the population like? 121 to 147. So Grandmonster's population is very, very good. Getting the medium upgraded spearmen. So Grandmonster listens. But I still think medium spearmen, it's not really worth it. You want to get heavy spearmen at the very least before you start building them. Because they just die instantly. You can see they just die instantly from the chariot archers. Very, very sad. Now, Mage is moving forward into this gold mine. It's a little bit of an aggressive gold mine to be moving forward to, honestly. He's got this one over here. He's got this one over here he could be moving to. He does not need this gold mine. This is just going to be villagers losing villagers for no real reason. Chariot archers throwing their arrows, doing their things. Man, Grandmonster's trade route is disgusting right now. Whereas Mage's is non-existent. You can see he's trying to send the camel caravans through, and Grandmonster's still throwing up walls all over the place. Really nice play here. Siege Workshop coming down. But here's the question. Is Mage going to be able to just go to that next age first? Nah, he's not even close. Grandmonster's got so much gold in the bank, though. And this is what happens when you start building spearmen this early. You just end up with a ball of chariot archers and you can't do anything. Thank you so much for the host there, Mickey Heege. Appreciate that one, man. Hope you had a really nice stream. More war elephants coming out. Again, he's got these double chariot archers, war elephants. He just needs to get rid of the chariot archers at this point, I think. And maybe just go siege towers, elephants, or something like that. Is he trading resources? He could just trade and grab those... grab that mythic age as well. Thank you for the follow, J Pitt number 1. And OSR save me. You guys are being very followy tonight. Appreciate those, man. It makes me feel good. There's a bunch of Pastuchos over here, which is gonna really change the tide of this battle because there's not really a decent answer to these unless you have Son of Osiris or your own Pastuchos. So, especially when you have this many chariot archers that can just pick off those priests. So Grandmonster did build the priests out, but it's really not going to do all too much. Still not advancing to that next age. We do see, oh, there we go. Horus is finally incoming, and heavy spearmen incoming for Mage. So Mage is like, not sure why Horus is the god of choice here. Is it maybe Horus is better because you can upgrade the Spear of the Horizon or whatever it's called, or greater to the 50, one of the two, and then they get enough survivability that they can just pick off the siege of their opponent, and you can never get pushed into. Well, thank you for the follow, Rin too. Did I miss you? Thanks, man. Yeah, Goldline, I'll look into getting a score on the screen for the next one. I didn't think about it, and then when I started, I was trying to get it there, and it just looked a bit whack. So I'll sort that out for later. But for now, if you just exclamation mark score, you'll have the current score. Thank you for the follow, Furkand, man. Appreciate that one. Siege towers are in here, and the villages are out. They should be able to push these guys back. Nice micro there from Mage. Get the Pastuchos to target these villages down. They're moving way too far away from the Migdol here, and Mage is going to be able to make some nice movements in here if he can. But how is the technologies coming through? Oh, Horus is coming through from Mage as well, so it's not gonna be that different at all. Grandmonster is losing his siege towers here. He does not manage to get the siege workshop in this way. Seeing the oh no, the tornado on the back town center of Mage. Is it gonna be enough? He's got masons. He's got fortified town centers. He's got 8 seconds left of tornado. It's going for it. It should go down. These villagers are going to try and save it, but really you're just throwing... Oh, he saves it. 100 HP there. Nice shifting sands. That's how I like to see shifting sands being used. Completely giving up on this top side of the map. He takes this town center. He's got 15 villagers here. He's got the resources to build the town center. He's got the Pharaoh as well. Horus is incoming for Mage. It's in here already. It's just arrived. Now Mage is way out of position. There's no line of sight on this town center, and this is looking like the move that's going to win Grandmonster the game, unless Mage has got something he can do with his own tornado. We've only got what do we call it? We've only got fortified town centers, fortified town centers and masons. So we may see this town center die yet, but we've got champion chariots out. These villagers trying to get this Migdol stronghold up. Got the war elephant moving in here. Siege tower taking down the monument to the villagers. Town center is super low, and there we go. Grandmonster timing it correctly. Realized his town center will survive with fortified town centers and masons. Starts repairing it back up, but does not have that much gold in the bank, and the catapult are going to be starting to siege on this location here. Could throw down a market in this location and route his trade down to the bottom and give up this corner as an option, or simply just like move some spearmen over here and use the siege towers to take down this little thing here. We've got the Pharaoh out as well, which is going to repair this even faster. Migdol stronghold is not going to be able to get up at this point, but looks like the town center has been secured, and Mage is sort of going for an all-in on this gold mine here with these villagers. Market needs to get up. I guess Mage needs to get his own gold mine as well. It's kind of looking like Mage is a little bit gold starved here. Yeah, he's got no gold mines left. This is going to be really difficult for him to continue here if these villagers die. Also got some villagers that can just take down this watchtower. They do, what's that? I missed it. 150% extra damage against watchtowers. So if you get that onto there, they just take it down like nothing. Very, very good. And the villagers are now chilling, and Mage does decide to tap out. That shifting sands play was so good, giving Grandmonster that second win in this best of 5. Just not wasting it on army. Army, you can steal 600 HP of units and kill them, and it's very useful very early in the game. But later in the game, it's kind of useless. You know, you don't want to. I mean, it's not later in the game. It's useless to steal an opponent's army, especially if you moved him over here right onto your goal line, cause some issues there. And then Grandmonster does the tornado shifting sands power play and takes that one. Really nice play there. We're going to be moving on to game number 4 very, very soon. So stick with me.